And we're back. The Fiscally Fabulous Wealth Summit explores the dynamic intersection of business, real estate, and empowerment strategies. Now, the summit isn't just about business. It's about transformative experience designed for both men and women, ensuring everyone finds value in actionable learning as well as networking. Joining me now, we've got the person that's going to give us some more information. She is the founder of the Real Estate Investors Association at the New York City Chapter, Dr. Teresa R. Martin. And Dr. Martin, glad to have you with us.
So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
And glad to have you back. It's been a minute. But listen, I want to get an opportunity to share with us a little bit about this Fiscally Fabulous Conference. And when we talk about finances, particularly in a day like today, we know that economic hardship is real. So how does the Fiscally Fabulous conference here, how are they able to really address the issues that we're facing right now here in America?
Great question. And let's just remember that, COVID, right? We still have that word, right? We have COVID pandemic, and that exacerbated many challenges that was already faced by entrepreneurs, especially African-American, Black and brown entrepreneurs, including limited access to resources, increased financial stability, and all the things that come with that. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that I put my Fiscally Fabulous formula, and it is a formula, right? Legal framework plus business operations times real estate mastery to help people master and create wealth. And during this time when housing shortages are happening and, elections are getting ready to start and COVID we're still feeling the remnants of COVID. This is right now the time where people need to find out, how do I secure financing? How do I get the resources that I need? How do I get a solid network that's going to follow me through the trajectory of my business so that I can have the life that I am, putting all my energy into having.
Dr.
That's
Teresa,
what the
talk to me
Fiscally
for a minute
Fabulous
about
movement
this,
is about.
because when we talk about entrepreneurs, we know that they're at the forefront of this, of this economy. We know small business is the lifeblood of America. You can't make it without small business here in America. But yet and still, when we talk to small business owners, entrepreneurs, there's so many, hurdles, access to resources. Talk to me about how the conference is also dealing with this issue, because it's very prevalent in our communities.
The biggest thing that I see now is that most entrepreneurs, we're so busy working, in the business that we're not focused on the business. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that at the conference, it's a 3-day implementation conference, no holds bar. We're focused on the financial baseline. You must know your numbers. Establishing a clear understanding of that financial status where you are, that's most important, because that's what underwriters are going to be looking at, right? You need to know your freedom day. What does that number look for you, right? People talk about retirement. No, I have a freedom day. Set that wealth destination, setting that clear financial goal that your business operations should achieve, so that you have that metric that that I've hit that, I'm short of that, what have you. But what the Fiscally Fabulous Conference is about is we help you fill that gap analysis, right? Charting that path, analyzing where you are now, where you want to go, and what resources you need in the middle, whether it's funding, whether it's access to knowledge, whether it's the things that, you don't even know that right? That is what the Fiscally Fabulous Summit and Conference is all about, is putting together the baseline, matching with your financial freedom day, and helping you fill that gap analysis that you need in your business to sustain.
Helpful information there. I want to talk about this because when we talk about businesses, scaling up is always huge, right? Every business wants to scale up, but it comes at an expense sometimes for that entrepreneur and that business owner. Sometimes their emotional well-being, sometimes their mental well-being is challenged simply by being able to, or trying to, get their business to where it needs to be. Give me a little bit from your perspective on how a business owner can do this, scale their business up, at the same time maintain their mental and emotional health.
Absolutely. I think the biggest issue that we need to address right now is when we're in business, we focus on the revenue, right? And revenue is not necessarily translated into profits, right? So first we need to understand that revenue feeds your ego. but profits feed your family. So we need to make sure that when we're talking about starting businesses, growing businesses, and scaling businesses, we need to make sure we know the numbers, right? To do that. Because once we know the numbers, that's why I mentioned about the financial baseline. We know how to get access to the help that we need. And the conference is all about OPM, using other people's money, other people's resources, joint collaborations. That adds to your balance of life, right? Because we're juggling multiple responsibilities as business owners, right? We're caregivers. It can be overwhelming when we're dealing with those things in our business, but really just understanding where your numbers are and making sure you know the difference between revenue and profit. That right there is going to help you overcome the overwhelm and allow you to now work those numbers so that you can get the help that you need, the resources and collaborations that you need, because there's no such thing as self-made millionaires. It's all about team-made millionaires. And that's what we need to focus on if we truly want to balance the roles and have a fulfilling balance of life.
From your perspective, where do you see things with regards to funding? Because we know there's a lot of people who, as I said in the onset, are having challenges with funding. Is the funding stream getting better, or are things drying up with the economy?
Funding streams has always been there, and they will always be there. Now, whether we're talking about banks versus alternative financing sources, new entrepreneurs, they're not really necessarily going to go right to a bank's source to get money. Why? Because they don't have all their ducks in a row. There's a sequence in which many people don't understand how you go after the money. You need to make sure you have reporting trade lines. You need to make sure your business is set up properly. You need to make sure you even understand what the reporting trade line is. How many trade lines do you have reporting? Because that is equivalent to the personal credit report versus the business credit report. Your business has a credit report, and we need to make sure that we're looking at that. The first thing that people do as soon as they open up an LLC or entity, they go right to the bank, and then they go to the bank, and then they try to get a business credit card. But what they don't realize is because you have no track record, that business credit card, if you get it, is tied to your social. So therefore, it's not reporting to the business credit agencies, it's reporting to your personal credit agency, because the bank is not going to take, a risk on you. Right? You have to take a risk on you. So what we have to do is make sure that you're doing things in sequence. That's how you get the money. So that's what we teach about in the the Fiscally Fabulous Conference and Summit. We focus on what things that you need to do in the right sequence so that you get the money, you get access to the capital that you need, whether it's credit cards, vendor credit, or financing. But they are all different. They all mean different things, and you are at different levels on how you can achieve and receive those funds.
Look, I want people to attend the conference, so I'm not trying to get all the secrets out of you, but I do need you to share this with me. What mistakes are people making out there when it comes to being that entrepreneur in that small business? You gave a great analogy there, talking about the business credit being tied to the personal credit. Absolutely, big mistake a lot of people make. But what are some of the more common mistakes that we're also seeing that maybe we need to be paying attention to?
No website. All right, people are doing business on Facebook and Instagram stores, but they have no website, which they own, right? Is their asset. That's the number one mistake, because underwriters are going to look at you. Okay, network marketing, companies, independent agents, they are focused on the network marketing company and not necessarily themselves as being the consultant and the marketing arm of that network marketing company. So you can't get funding from that because it's not your product, it's not your service, right? So those are the number one and two aspects of what mistakes people are making. Not putting enough attention on marketing. Marketing is the largest expense of any business. Marketing is going to get you your sales, but your sales is going to help you pay for the marketing. So you can't have sales without marketing. Right? And you can't have marketing and without sales. So those are some of the mistakes that business owners are making. They are really kind of doing things by the whim and not doing things in sequence. And then they wonder why they can't get funding for their business because they're not set up properly. Their entities are not properly formed. They have a business address that's at their home, which, also opens up liability. So there's a lot of things that businesses are not looking at when they're looking at setting up forming and complying with their business to set them up to get access to capital.
So where do we go from here in terms of the conference? Where do people go? What do they do?
I think people should go to GW5conference.com, GW5conference.com. Everything is on the site. I also have a discount code for everybody who's listening before August 30th. It's FFW20, FFWS20, and you get 20% off of any ticket price that you see on the site. And I just think that everyone who is in business, starting, growing, or looking to scale up their business, this is a conference that you have not been to before, because it's 100% implementation. We have strategy zones, implementation pods. There is no one selling you information at the conference. Once you come at the conference, we have no selling speakers. There's nothing for you to buy, for you to get the information. You just come, bring your laptops, and come ready to work. GW5conference.com.
All right, Dr. Teresa, thank you so much for being with us. Dr. Teresa R. Martin, founder of the Real Estate Investors Association of NYC. Thank you so much. A lot of helpful information. I'm hoping that people are paying attention. If not, that's why they're going to the conference. So we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty. Now, listen, if you want more information, please visit the website, GW5conference.com. There you can find out about the conference as well as more information. Encourage you, don't go anywhere. We got more open coming up right after this.